Hi, welcome back. I'm Brad Griffith, and I'm doing these videos to support the STEM and STEAM movement in our schools. And I've collected a few things, and the last couple of videos have been about bugs, bees, and bird engineering. So what we've got here are 4 barn swallow nests. And what makes these interesting is that when we painted a house, when we got there, this one was on the wall. We're going to go into more details. Then we stripped off the siding. Yeah, that's right. We stripped off the siding, and then we went away for a couple days, and the barn swallow in the exact same place built this nest. And then when we got the siding up, he built 2 more nests in the same spot practically overnight. And we're going to get more details into both of these. But for the size, we're looking at, let's say, a barn swallow's nest eggs are about the size of 2 marbles. So that'll give you a perspective of the size of the nest. This particular one is just over 5 inches. This one here, the last one he built, is a little bit wider. It's more like 6. I mean, if we're talking details, a 1/2 inch might make a difference. But the first one that we have, the interesting thing about it is there are some feathers, there's some bark, beauty bark, there's some pine needles, grass, obviously, mud, and this one looks like it's been well occupied. I don't know how many years old it was, but it had been sitting there, but there's a couple layers of debris, feathers. What else we got here? Now it's starting to rain on me. That's okay. So anyhow, if I was a bird, I'd probably be pretty cozy set up. The nests were way up in the eaves where it wasn't getting wet at that time. And opening it up, there's some feathers that are actually worked into the mud, but this particular nest is grass and mud. So if you look at what's called biomimicry, it's how we as humans duplicate what Mother Nature is doing. And if you turn the birdhouse upside down and spin it around, it kind of looks like a mud hut. So in different cultures around the world, they have used mud and straw and grass together to create homes for themselves. If you look really close, you can see the ridges of the siding here, and the wood that the barn swallow, with mud, and this one's got all sorts of grass in it as well. He basically adheres the nest one mud glob at a time, flying back and forth to the mud pit or wherever, which, if I may, in one of our other videos we studied bee. This is a mud dauber's nest and how they work with mud. But this particular one wasn't up as long. It's a little shabbier built. You can also see that there's a little bit of layering going on. See how that layer is kind of disconnected from that layer? And so they must have built these. I mean, it took a lot of time and patience and persistence. You can kind of break it apart and see the layers, how they've built these. in kind of different rows. Sorry, need to keep that in the viewfinder. So that was the second one. I believe this one was the third one. And you see there's not, I don't see any pine needles. You know, he had to make this one in a hurry. You don't see any feathers. It's just grass and mud. There's no extra details, but it's still pretty sturdy. And you can see how the straw or grass isn't up and down like this and intermixed in both directions, which it would be stronger. They just have the grass going horizontally, but if it went vertically too, then these seams wouldn't pull apart quite as easily. You see how that's all divided? So there's a little bit of engineering mishap had they been able to go up and down with their grass. They might be able to have made a stronger nest. But in engineering, how strong do you need a bridge? Do you need to make a bridge strong enough for an aircraft carrier to go over? No, you need to make a bridge so semi-trucks, several at a time, fully loaded, can go over and not, not fall down and compress the bridge. So he's made it to his needs and scales, which is exactly what we do in engineering, is make the tool or bridge or the house or building big enough, strong enough to suit its purpose, not necessarily overkill. So your class, if you wanted to, you could experiment with making mud little huts or mud structures using the same system that the barn swallow has used. And you can get straw and grass. If you notice, I noticed when he first built these, he made it all from dry grass. There wasn't any green grass in his nest, and for some reason, not known to me but known to the barn swallows, and you might be able to figure out why they built it with dry grass instead of green grass. So this will give you an idea. Once again, we had 4 nests built over less than 2 weeks of time, and pretty persistent little guys. Unfortunately, we had to take the nest down to accommodate the re-siding of the building, the house, and painting it as well. So hopefully the little guys, they found a better place that wasn't, and actually I could probably go back to the house and see if they built it again and again. So this is my way to support the STEM movement. If you're a student, you might consider some engineering projects with mud and straw. Maybe you want to make a bridge and see how things are made. Maybe you want to make some of your future cities of future city competition out of mud and straw, and see if you could reproduce what a barn swallow had done. Thanks. Bye.